Shalom, shalom, yashala, shalom. Dawadabanya Shala here, bringing a special episode of bringing out the precepts. So much going on in this world and biblical prophecies. First and foremost, I want to give all praise and glory to Abinah Yahweh, Bahashem, Hamasiach Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kadash. That's the Heavenly Father's true name in ancient Paleo Hebrew, Yahweh. Bahashem, coming in the name of His only begotten Son, who this world ignorantly calls Jesus the Christ, but his true name is Yahweh Shai Hamasiach. Coming in the name of the Holy Spirit. All praise and glory to the Heavenly Father and the King, bringing judgment to this land. Per Zephaniah 3 and 5 every morning. Matter of fact, let's get that. Zephaniah 3 and 5. Zephaniah 3 and 5. And it reads, the just Yahweh is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doeth he bring his judgment to light. He faileth not, but the unjust showeth no shame. Salakia. Every morning the just Yahweh is in the midst thereof. Midst thereof of all the prophecies that's going on in this land, aka Babylon the Great, the United Snakes of America. And with there's so much going on, I just got off the phone with my sister, and she's in the Midwest, and they're going through preparing for tornadoes, and they have Gulf-side hail through Texas and heading eastbound. Spoke to my cousin out of the so-called rich Puerto Rico, and they're on the martial law over there in Puerto Rico already. They got the government troops out there, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna be heading to my old stomping ground, NYC, New York. So there's so much going on weather-wise, biblical prophecy-wise, so much going on, and that's why I'm gonna do this lesson. Just sit down, and I'm gonna title this one End-Time Prophecies and Plagues, coming out of the Apocrypha. I know a lot of you unlearned don't want to honor or don't read out of this Apocrypha, but all praise and glory to the Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Through his prophets, he left this for us to come to the understanding of his word. So I'm going to be coming out of the Apocrypha. Again, the title is End-Time Prophecies and Plagues. Out of the book of the Apocrypha, I'm going to be reading the second chapter. The second Esdras, chapter 15. Second Esdras, chapter 5, the 15th chapter. And I'm going to be reading the whole 15th chapter of the second Esdras out of the Apocrypha. Alright, so let's get that. Let's start from the top, second Esdras 15, starting with verse 1. And it reads, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the word of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith Yahweh, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Okay, I'm going to read it again. 2nd Esdras 15, starting from the top. And it reads, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith Yahweh, and cause them to be written in paper, for thou art faithful and true. So we all know that all the biblical prophecies that are going to come to pass that are written in the roll, the Holy Bible, the roll, which includes the Apocrypha, for all the learned brothers out there and sisters that read the Apocrypha. Behold, speaking to the ear of his people the word of prophecy, and he will put his words in thy mouth and cause them to be written, for they are faithful and true. Let's get a precept real quick on that. Let's go to Ezekiel. The book of Ezekiel 3, verse 1. And it reads, moreover, he said unto the Son of Man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll, and speak unto the house of Israel. The roll, what is the roll? the actual Hebrew text, the scrolls that are in the Holy Bible. Okay, there's a previous lesson I did, eat the roll and drink the water, if you want to get further understanding. From Ezekiel again, moreover, he said unto the Son of Man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll, and go speak unto the house of Israel. As he said in the Apocrypha, 2nd Esdras 15:1, speak to my people. This is only to Israel, point blank and period. Ezekiel 3:2, so I opened my mouth and he caused me to eat that roll. Again, what is the roll? It's all the Hebrew texts that are in the actual Bible, the scrolls, the Hebrew scrolls. Okay. Ezekiel 3:3, and he said unto me, Son of man, cause thy belly to eat and fill thy bowels with this roll that I give thee. Then did I eat it, and it was in my mouth as honey for sweetness. Ezekiel 3:4, and he said unto me, Son of man, go, get thee unto the house of Israel, and speak with my words unto them. Gone. Speak to Yasha'Allah. Okay, Ezekiel 3:5. And it reads, for thou art not sent to a people with a strange speech and of a hard language, but unto the house of Israel. We'll read it again, Ezekiel 3:5. For thou art not sent to a people of a strange speech and of a hard language, but unto the house of Israel. Like the Messiah said in Matthew 5:10 and Matthew 15:24, that he is not sent only to the house of Israel. Same thing. He directed us not to go to the people with strange speech and a hard language, but unto the house of Israel. So I'm bringing out this precept, titled again, the End Time Prophecies and Plagues, coming out of the Apocrypha, the Lord's Book, the Apocrypha, 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter. And I'm going to be covering the whole chapter through the Spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay, let's go back to the Apocrypha. 2nd Esdras 15:4. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. 2nd Esdras 15:4. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. So if you don't believe the rolls, the Hebrew scrolls that are in the Bible, if you're mocking the Most High's word, if you not hearkening to the law, statutes, and commandments, you are the unfaithful, and you shall die in your unfaithfulness. Point blank and period. 2nd Esdras 15:5 reads, behold, saith Yahweh, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. We'll read it again, 2nd Esdras 15:5. Behold, saith Yahweh, I will bring plagues upon the world. As we see what's going on now with the coronaviruses, plagues, famine, supermarkets are all emptied out because this world's in an uproar and panicking because of the coronavirus, and it's just the beginning of sorrow. It's just the beginning. We have not even seen the wrath of the Most High yet. Okay? He's going to send plagues upon the world. The sword, many people are going to die. Famine, as you see. So all these stores going empty, everything shut down. The American economy shut down. The bars, everything, you name it, is shut down. Death and destruction. Okay? 2nd Esdras 15, let's go to verse 6. For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth. We'll read it again. For wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Okay, 2nd Esdras 15:6. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth. The captivity of the Most High's people, the oppression to this day. Baruch 3:8 lets us know that we're still in captivity to this day, subject to payments, paying for water, paying for every single thing that we do out here in this land. We're still in oppression. If you don't go clock in the slave master's time clock, you don't get paid. That's why everybody's in a panic now, how they're going to survive through this coronavirus, which is just the beginning of sorrow. This is nothing to what's coming to this world. Okay, 2nd Esdras 15:7. Thus saith Yahweh, I will hold my tongue no more, as touching their wickedness which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and the righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. Okay, behold, the innocent and righteous blood. Who are the righteous and the innocent blood? That's his people, the Most High's people, all blacks, native, and Latinos throughout scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, crying righteously. And the souls of the just complain continue praying to the Most High to redeem us out of this captivity. Okay, point blank and period, as it was done in the first Exodus out of Egypt. Okay, praying to the Most High. The Most High directed and guided Moses to get the people out of Egypt. Same way, we're going to get redeemed out of Babylon, aka the United Snakes of America. 2 Esdras 15 and verse 9. And therefore saith Yahweh, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from amongst them. 2 Esdras 15 and 9. For therefore saith Yahweh, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from amongst them. Point blank and period. Let's get a precept on that. Let's go to the book of Proverbs. Proverbs 6, starting with the 16th verse. Proverbs 6 and 16. The 16th doeth Yahweh hate. Yes, 7 an abomination unto him. A proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood. I'll read it again. Proverbs 6 and 16. These 16 doeth Yahweh hate. Yes, 7 abomination unto him. A proud look, a lying tongue, and a hand that sheds innocent blood. The innocent blood being the Israelites that were put to death and still in captivity in this land to this day. Point blank and period. Can't get around it. Just like the first Exodus, we're going to be redeemed, and the Most High is going to redeem us from this wicked land and from the oppressors of this land. Let's get back to 2 Esdras 15 chapter. Second Esdras 15 and 10. Behold, my people is Salakia. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. Gone. The land of spiritual Egypt, spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah, mentioned in the book of Revelations. Well, we're going to be redeemed out of here in the second Exodus, out of the Americas. The ones ruling this world think that their kingdom is going to last forever. But history shows us every kingdom, there was an end to every kingdom. Be it the Greek, the Roman, the Babylonian, the Persian Mede, all the kingdoms, point blank and period. This kingdom in America, so-called America, is coming to an end as you see it unraveling right in front of your eyes. If you all still want to mark the Most High, go right ahead. Galatians 6 and 7. The Most High is not marked, and you will reap what you sow. 2 Esdras 15:11. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before. 2 Esdras 15 and verse 11. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt, spiritual Egypt, Babylon, with plagues as before. And we all know in the first Exodus, the plagues that were sent to Egypt. I just did a lesson over the Passover. You can check it out. It's covering the Deuteronomy 28th chapter, the blessings and the curses. And I went in depth on, and I went through the plagues. And let's go briefly into the plagues. Let's go to Exodus, starting with the eighth chapter. Salakia, starting with the 7th chapter. I'm gonna just read it real quick. Exodus 7 and 10. And Moses and Aaron went unto Pharaoh, and they did so as Yahweh had commanded. And Aaron cast down his rod before Pharaoh, and before his servant it became a serpent. That was one of the plagues that he turned, and a miracle, he turned his staff into a serpent. Let's go to the water to blood. 7th chapter, Exodus 7 and 17. Thus saith Yahweh, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh. Behold, I will smite the rod that is in my hand upon the waters which are in the rivers, and they shall turn to blood. That was another prophecy that was done in the first Exodus. Let's go to Exodus 8, the 3rd chapter. This is concerning the frogs, the plagues of the frogs. Exodus 8 and 3 reads, and the river shall bring forth frogs abundantly, which shall go up and come into thine house, and into thy bed chambers, and upon thy bed, and into the house of the servants, and upon thy people, and into thine ovens, and into thy kneading troughs. I mean, that's the plagues of the frogs. Okay, these are the plagues during the first Exodus. Let's continue in the Exodus 8:16 verse. And Yahweh said unto Moses, say unto Aaron, stretch out thy rod and smite the dust of the land, that it may become lice throughout all the land of Egypt. That's the plagues of the lice. Let's go to the Exodus 8 and 24. The flies. The plagues of the flies. Exodus 28 and 8 and 24 reads, and Yahweh did so, and there came a grievous swarm of flies into the house of Pharaoh, into the servants, the houses, into all the land of Egypt, and the land was corrupted by the reason of the swarms of the flies. That's another plague during the first Exodus. Let's go to the 9th, Exodus 9, starting with the top. Then Yahweh said unto Moses, go unto Pharaoh and tell him, thus say Yahweh thy power of the Hebrews, let my people go, that they may serve me. If thou refuse to let them go, and will still hold on to them, he will kill the first of all the cattle of the that were in the field, the horses, the asses, the camels, the oxen, the sheep. They were all put to death as a plague from the Most High to Pharaoh if he will not hearken and let the Most High's people go, the true biblical Israelites during the first Exodus. Let's go to Exodus 9 and 11. Talks about the skin boils. Exodus 9:11 reads, and the magician could not stand before Moses because the boils was upon the magician and upon all the Egyptians. They got skin boils all over their bodies. That was a plague of the Most High during the first Exodus. Point blank and period. Let's go to Exodus 9 and start at the 23rd verse. Exodus 9 and 23. And Moses stretched forth his rod towards the heaven, and Yahweh sent thunder and hail, and the fire ran along the ground, and Yahweh rained hail upon the land of Egypt. Exodus 9 and 24. So there was hail and fire mingled with hail, very grievous, such as there was none like it in all the land of Egypt since it became a nation. That was the plague of the thunder, fire, and hail during the first Exodus. Let's go to the 10th chapter of Exodus 10 and starting at verse 3, 10 and 3. And Moses and Aaron came unto Pharaoh and said unto him, thus say Yahweh, the power of the Hebrews, how long wilt thou refuse to humble thyself before me? Let my people go, that they may serve me. Else, if you refuse to let my people go, behold, tomorrow I will bring the locusts into thy coast. That's the plague, and the Most High is casting this plague of the locusts as right now. I mean, Africa, the land of Ham was have plagues, is eating all the herbs and greens. Saudi Arabia, China, so-called Moabs. I mean, all these plagues are coming to pass as the first Exodus. Let's go to Exodus 10 and 22. Moses stretched forth his hand towards the heaven, and there was a thick darkness in the land of Egypt 3 days. Read it again. Exodus 10 and 23. And Moses stretched forth his hand towards heaven, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt 3 days. Exodus 10 and 23. They saw not one another, neither rose any from the palace for 3 days. They couldn't even see each other. It was pitch black, and nobody left their palace for 3 days. And I'm going to continue the 23rd chapter. But all the children of Israel, I repeat, all the children of Israel had light in their dwellings. All praise and glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Caused darkness to all the Egyptians for 3 days, but all the Israelites that were living through the law, statute, commandments of the Most High had light in their dwelling. How merciful and glorious the Most High to his people. Exodus 11 and 5, concerning the firstborn. Exodus 11:5 reads, and all the firstborn in the land of Egypt shall die, from the firstborn of Pharaoh that sitteth upon the throne, even unto the firstborn of the maidservant that is behind the mill, all the firstborns of the beasts. The curse of the plagues of the firstborn being killed in the land of Egypt. These are all the plagues that the Most High brought to Egypt during the first Exodus. Well, when you read it in Second Esdras 15 and 11, I will bring them with a mighty hand and stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before, as when? As the first Exodus, and will destroy all the land thereof. Second Esdras 15 and 12. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation it shall be smitten with the plague and the punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. That's what this land is is destined to see, is the wrath of the Most High. The plagues as before, as the first Exodus. As you see right now, the coronavirus is a plague of the Most High. Many are going to die. That's not living by the law, statute. You don't have the law, statute, commandments. You don't have the Most High. You will be getting the plague of the corona. Second Esdras 15 and 13. They that till the ground shall mourn, and their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail with a fearful constellation. Salakia. Second Esdras 15 and 14. Woe to the world and all them that dwell in it. And when you look up woe, the word woe in the blue letter Bible means destruction, death and destruction to the world and them that dwell therein. Look it up in the blue letter Bible. That's Second Esdras 15 and 14. Second Esdras 15 and 15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight another, and swords in their hands. I'm going to read it again. Second Esdras 15 and 15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another people, and swords in their hands. Those are all that equals is race wars. One people, one group of people going to fight another group of people. And what's the modern day sword today? Is weapons. The AR-15s, the firearms, the guns, any way you want to look at it. That's the modern day weapons. We're not using bows and arrows anymore as the time in the ancient times. Okay? So they're going to fight one another and swords in their hands. Look at all the shootings that's going down throughout this land. Everybody, that's just the way it is. And sooner or later, the race wars are coming here. As Second Esdras 15 and 15. I'll read it again. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people, one nation, shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Okay, Second Esdras 15 and 16. There should be sedition amongst men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor the princes, and the courses of their action shall stand in their power. Why? Because it's going to be chaos. It's going to be just chaos in the streets. No law enforcement, nobody to come to your aid. Nobody's going to care about the kings and the princes and law, like I said, law enforcement, and the powers are going to be in their own hands. It's going to be sedition amongst men, one invading another, one people fighting against another, race wars, point blank and period. Second Esdras 15 and 17. 15 and 17. And it reads, and a man shall desire to go, Salakia, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to. I'm going to read it again. 2nd Esdras 15 and 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to. This equals martial law. My cousin in so-called the rich Puerto Rico, the rich land Puerto Rico, they're under martial law. The government troops are patrolling the streets right now. And that's coming here to Babylon the Great, a.k.a. the United States of America. A man shall desire to go into a city. Lockdown. Look what's happening right now. Everything is locked down. All the clubs, everything is locked down. Sooner or later, to control that, they're going to implement the military, and martial law is going to be declared. Point blank and period. It's biblical prophecy. It has to happen. Read it again. 2nd Esdras 15 and 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to. That is martial law. Point blank and period. Lockdown. Cities locked down. 2nd Esdras 15 and 18. For because of their pride the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed and men shall be afraid. I'm going to read it again. 2nd Esdras 15 and 18. For because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Men shall be afraid. So imagine all the women and children when the wrath and the judgment of the Most High. This coronavirus is the beginning of sorrow, the beginning pains, beginning sorrow. The Most High's will and wrath, it tells you here, men shall be afraid. Imagine women and children. 2nd Esdras 15 and 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, with guns, and spoil their goods because the lack of bread and for great tribulation. I'm going to read it again. 2nd Esdras 15 and 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of lack of bread, lack of food. They're going to be going house to house, casing each house, see what they can find in there. With what? With swords in their hands, with guns in their hand. It's biblical prophecy. Point blank and period. This shall come to pass. 2nd Esdras 15 and 20. Behold, saith the Most High, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south and from the east, and from Libanus, to turn themselves one against another, and repay the things that have done to them. Okay, he's going to gather all the kings of the earth to reverence him, which arise from the sun and from the south and the east, to turn themselves against one another. I mean, till the beginning of World War III is going on right now, with China's vexing the United States of America, saying that was a China virus. The Russia, the North Koreans, all these other nations, Iran, the bombings in Iran that killed some soldiers out there from the British and the U.S. and so forth, and the U.S. replied back. I mean, this is just the beginning stages of World War III. Point blank and period. It's unraveling in front of all our eyes. All these biblical prophecy. That's why they wanted to take this book out of the Bible, because this book contains so much that they didn't want everybody to read. But the true prophets of the Most High understand that this was left for us to to the understanding and to wake up the masses of the people. Okay, so it's through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. He's gonna have all these kings, and they're gonna turn one against another. Point blank and period. 2nd Esdras 15 and 21. Like as they yet do this day unto my chosen, so will I do also, and recompense in their own bosom, thus saith Yahweh thy power. I'm going to read it again. Second Esdras 15 and 21. Like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, so will I do also, and recompense in their bosom, doth save Yahweh thy power. As they do to keep us under oppression. Last how I first fired, shooting Michael Brown, Trayvon Martin. You name it, all of them unarmed. All the mistreatment. And like living in the ghettos from the East Coast to the West Coast. Who's in the ghettos? The so-called blacks, Native, and Hispanics, the true people of the Most High, that they still have us in captivity to this day. Due to his chosen. Let's get a precept on that. Let's go to Obadiah, the book of Obadiah. Obadiah 1 and 15. Obadiah 1 and 15 reads, And the day of Yahweh is near all heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. I'm going to read it again. Obadiah 1 and verse 15. For the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen. All the heathens. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. Point blank and period. That's to the point. That is to the point. You're going to reap what you sow. Point blank and period. You're going to reap what you sow. Back to second Esdras 15. Like as they do yet this day unto my chosen. Who are the chosen? The children of Israel. The 12 tribes of Israel. So will I do also, and recompense in their bosom, thus save Yahweh thy power. Second Esdras 15 and 22. My right hand shall not spare the sinners, and my sword shall not cease over them that shed innocent blood upon the earth. My right hand shall not spare the sinners, and my sword shall not cease over them that shed innocent blood upon the earth. Let's get a precept on let's go to the book of Revelations. Revelations 13, let's start with the 10th verse. Revelations 13 and 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Okay, again, you're going to reap what you sow. Point blank and period. Read it for yourself. Revelation 13 and 10. You're going to reap what you sow. Again, 2 Esdras 15:22. For my right hand shall not spare the sinners, and my sword shall not cease over them that shed innocent blood upon the earth. You're going to reap what you sow. You kill with the sword, you're going to be killed with the sword. You put people into captivity, you're going into captivity. It's only fair justice. Point blank and period. 2 Esdras 15 and 23. The fire is gone forth from his wrath, and has consumed the foundations of the earth, and the sinners like the straw that is kindled. Read it again. 2 Esdras 15 and 23. The fire is gone forth his wrath, and has consumed the foundations of the earth, and the sinners like the straw that is kindled. Point blank and period. Through the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, we all know that the first earth, it was all with the floodings, but this earth is going to be by fire. He's coming with fire. Let's get a couple of precepts on that. Let's go first to the book of Malachi. Malachi 4, verse 1, and it reads, And behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, all that do wickedly, shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith Yahweh of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. Point blank and period. The Most High is coming with fire. Let's get another precept. Let's go to the book of Isaiah. Isaiah 66, verse 15. Isaiah 66 and 15 reads, For behold, Yahweh will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. Isaiah 66 and 16. For by fire and by his sword will Yahweh plead with all flesh, and the slain of Yahweh shall be many. I'm going to read it again. Isaiah 66 and 15. For behold, Yahweh will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and rebuke with flames of fire. Isaiah 66 and 16. For by fire and by his sword will Yahweh plead with all flesh, and the slain of Yahweh shall be many. Can't make this up. All praise and glory to the Heavenly Father. He's going to avenge for what has been done to his people to this day in this captivity. Again, precept upon precept, and the slain of Yahweh shall be many. You're going to pay for what you've done to the Most High's people, and continue to do to this day to the Most High's people. Okay, let's go back to 2nd Esdras. 2nd Esdras 15 and 24. Woe, again, when you see woe in the Bible, look it up. It means destruction. I'm going to read it the way it should be read. 2nd Esdras 15 and 24. Destruction to them that sin and keep not my commandments, saith Yahweh. I'm going to read it again. Woe to them, destruction to them that sin and keep not my commandments, saith Yahweh. Point blank, if you're not living with the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God, death and destruction to you. Point blank and period. Death and destruction to you. Everybody talks about the laws are done away with. Let's get some precepts on that. Let's get some precepts. Let's stay in the Apocrypha. Let's go to the book of Baruch. Baruch 4 and 1. Baruch 4 and 1 reads, This is the book of the commandments of the Most High, and the law that endureth forever. As they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. Point blank and period. I'm going to read it again. Baruch 4, starting with the top, the first verse. This is the book of the commandments of the Most High, and the law that endureth forever. Chapter and verse on where the laws are done away with. Show me the chapter, show me the verse. And the law that endureth forever, and all that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. Point blank and period. Let's get another precept on the commandments. Everybody talks about the commandments are done. Let's go to the last book of the Bible, the last chapter of the Bible in the book of Revelations. Revelations 22 verse 14. And it reads, Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter into the gates into the city. Which gates? The gates of the heaven, of the kingdom of the Most High, and the city, the New Jerusalem. Okay? Read it again. Revelation 22 and 14. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have the right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates into the city. This is the last chapter of the Bible, the book of Revelations, the last chapter, chapter 22, verse 14. Blessed are they that do his commandments. How can the laws be done away with? Simple as hell. Simple as hell. Let's get back to the 2nd Esdras. 2nd Esdras 15:24. Just woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments, saith Yahweh. 2nd Esdras 15 and 25. Verse 25. I will not spare them. Go your way, ye children from the powers, defile not my sanctuary. I will not spare them. Go your way, ye children from the power, defile not my sanctuary. If you're living with the law, statutes, and commandments, you are living in defiling the Most High sanctuary. 2nd Esdras 15 and 26 reads, For Yahweh knoweth all that sin against him, and therefore delivereth he them unto death and destruction. Point blank and period. For Yahweh knoweth all that sin against him, and therefore delivereth deliver he them unto death and destruction. That's 2nd Esdras 15:26. Let's get a precept on that. For all you people that hate his word and hate his prophets and don't live by the law, statute, commandments, and scorn and scoff all these scoffers that's coming against the Most High. Let's go back to the book of Deuteronomy 7, verse 10. Deuteronomy 7 and 10, and it reads, "And repay of them that hate him to their face." We're all going to have a sit down with the Most High and the King of Kings, Lords of Lords, who y'all are going to record Jesus the Christ. Okay, Deuteronomy 7 and 10. "And repay of them that hate him to their face, to destroy them. He will not be slack to him that hateth him. He will repay him to his face." Dust off your Bibles, go to Deuteronomy 7 and 10, and read your judgment. All you that hate the Most High, all you that say that there is no such, that God is not is fake or whatever, y'all, just hate His word. All you scorners out there going against the brothers out there pushing this truth throughout the four corners of the earth, you're all gonna have a sit down with the Most High. And what is Deuteronomy 7 and 10? He's gonna repay them that hate Him to their face and destroy them. He will not be slack to him that hateth him. He will repay him to his face. You can voice your opinion. Don't kill the messenger. Just telling you how it is. He's coming for everybody that hates him and repay them to their face. So all of you are going to have your opportunity to voice your opinions to the Most High before He puts you to death. Again, 2nd Esdras 15:26, "For Yahweh knoweth all that sin against him, and therefore delivereth He them unto death and destruction." 2nd Esdras 15:27, "For now are the plagues come upon the whole earth, and ye shall remain in them, for Yahweh shall not deliver you, because ye have sinned against him." I'll read it again. 2nd Esdras 15:27, "For now are the plagues come upon the whole earth, and ye shall remain in them, for Yahweh shall not deliver you, because ye have sinned against him." All you people out there, all you Israelites, which the Most High is only concerned about His people, all you Israelites, not living by the law, statute, and commandment, your 2/3 clubs, per Zechariah 13 and 8, 66.6% of the Israelites are going to be put to death, and only 33% are going to be tried like silver is tried and gold is tried. Read it for yourself. 66.6% going to be put to death for you people that, or you Israelites that turn away from the Most High and not come to His law, statutes, and commandments. Point blank and period. 2nd Esdras 15:27. Read it again. "For now are the plagues come upon the whole earth, and ye shall remain in them. And the Most High shall not deliver you." He will not deliver you out of this so-called coronavirus, the famine that's coming out here, the pestilence that's coming to this land, because ye have sinned against Him, not coming to the law, statutes, and commandments. And you read that in the last lesson I did on the Passover on my channel, the Deuteronomy 28, the blessings and the curses and the plagues. Take a look at it. With that, this is going to be a 2-part series of the 2nd Esdras, the end time prophecies and the plagues out of the 2nd Esdras, coming out of the Apocrypha, because I know this is going to be a long lesson. So I'm going to make a 2-part. I'm going to end it here right now at 2nd Esdras 15:27, where read it again. "For now are the plagues come upon the whole earth, and ye shall remain in them, for Yahweh shall not deliver you, because ye have sinned against him." Just wanted to do this first part. This is a long chapter, but we covered martial law. We covered the plagues that are coming here as before. Okay, the modern day sword or guns. There's going to be famine, lack of bread, sedition amongst men. Point blank, the Most High is coming with fire. He's coming to have a face-to-face with all that sin against him and hate him. Point blank and period. Just want to bring this. Hope everybody's edifying. I'll be coming up with part 2. Most High willing. I just didn't want to make this, hour long, but it's going to be a 2-part series. Again, end time prophecies and plagues. The 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, out of the book of the Apocrypha. Okay, like Scripture says, you have to endure to the end. Our kingdom is nigh. Yasha'Allah. Have to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments as per Acts 3 and 19. You need to repent so that thou sins will be blotted out. Hope it was edifying. Hope you come back and catch part 2 of the series, End Time Prophecies. We give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Mashiach, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rakar Kadash. With that, I say Shalom.